Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and we're going inside the war room with the St. Louis Rams. We're going to take a look at their team needs to see what players could be possible targets to fill those needs. But first, let's take a look at the upcoming selections the Rams have in this year's draft.
I like what the Rams have on their roster already, and the fact that they have 2 first-round selections allows them to get impact players, and they have a pick in every round. So let's look at some of their team needs, not necessarily in any order, but they do need a receiver. Definitely need help back there at free safety. They could use some outside linebacker help, interior offensive line, and they could use another running back just to give Darrell Richardson a breather or two. So let's look at their 7-round mock draft starting in the first round with 2 picks, 16 and 22. And with pick number 16, I'm giving them to Von Austin. There's a reason why I chose this photo of Austin as he is running away from the Marshall defenders. I think he can do the same thing in the National Football League. You get this guy to football anywhere on the field, and he's a threat to score. And I'm also giving him Eric Reed, a guy that I really like, has tremendous ball skills. Reminds me a lot of Darren Sharper. The one thing he has to improve on is that he has to take better angles to the football. Now, once he gets there, he can make plays on the ball and also knock the stuffing out of wide receivers. In round 2, I have the Rams taking one of my favorite prospects, Kasim Green out of Rutgers. This is your ideal coverage linebacker. He was a former safety at Rutgers, moved down to the linebacker position, and this is a guy that has excellent hands. So when you go to that nickel defense, Green is a guy that doesn't come off the field. Depth in the backfield is key for the St. Louis Rams, and that's why I have them taking Eddie Lacy out of Alabama. A lot of guys are mocking Eddie Lacy to the Rams, but in the first round. I don't view him as a first-round running back, so I think round 3 is where you could possibly see him go off the board. Yes, he may go a little bit higher, but I think in the 3rd round, if he's there, this would be a great fit for St. Louis. I think the Rams build on that offensive line depth, that interior offensive line depth with Braxton Cave out of Notre Dame, a very productive player throughout the course of his career, and I like this fit for St. Louis. Keep an eye on Sheldon Price out of UCLA. This guy is a Jeff Fisher type of cornerback, aggressive, nasty, has great bump and run skills despite him only being 6'2", 180 pounds, and also has underrated ball skills as well. I think this would be an ideal fit in the secondary for the Rams. I like Chris Gregg out of Arkansas. Reminds me a lot of L.G. Crumpler, a swing tight end that can be put in the backfield, but definitely is a matchup nightmare for opposing linebackers, and I think he'll be another offensive weapon that could be utilized for St. Louis and Sam Bradford and helping make it that offense much more explosive. I'm a big Jake Knott fan out of Iowa State. A lot of production in college. I think he'll be an ideal weak side linebacker. So now you've covered both your outside linebacker positions with Kasim Green and Jake Knott. Now let's take a look at the recap of the selections the Rams made in my 7-round mock draft. A lot of talent on this list, and they were able to help both the offense and the defense. Offensively, you got playmakers in Von Austin, Eddie Lacy, Braxton Cave, depth guy at the offensive line position, and Chris Gregg, tight end. And on defense, you have addressed your major needs: free safety, outside linebacker, and you got some depth at the cornerback position. So I think the Rams can utilize these core group of guys to help them compete in a very tough and competitive NFC West. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Ram Fan Forums for always showing football game plan support.